I give you the future. Oh, no, it's not Bitcoin. It is Stark Varg e-bikes. We all knew the e-bikes was coming. I mean, come on. Ever since that Alta came out, it's just a little bit before its time, before it was ready. And then they had this couple $1 million deal with Harley Davidson go under because it's all about business, right? And if you know how to build one, you don't really need the little guy anymore. You could just go build your own. And Harley's got this super expensive e-bike, and it's where it's headed. It's where it's headed. So let's talk a little bit about this e-bike. I'm really stoked that they got Josh Hill to be a representative or an ambassador or an influencer. And pretty much that's semantics because it's kind of all the same thing, right? For this company, because it actually looks like this is going to be a pretty damn good bike. But however, I always want to get you guys involved, and gals, let me know. I'm guessing everybody, the majority of people, they want to smell VP fuel, mixing gas, hauling ass. You want to have the motor, right? The combustion motor with the piston and all the gears and all the shit to break and go wrong. You want to have that. You want to be able to feather the clutch because you can't shift. You want to be able to have semi-neutral on certain shit. You want to be in more control over the motorcycle. You probably hate e-bikes. And maybe this is the liberal in me. I'm not talking about for the planet, because, again, battery acid and everything, there's an argument that, batteries are worse for the environment. Let's leave all that bullshit aside, okay? As I kind of brought it to the forefront of this conversation. It's where we're headed. It's where we're headed. However, I think some of the big deals of going to make this guy not really be successful is it's going to be all the organizations not allowing it to race. And why do I think it's not going to be allowed to race? Well, because if the description of this motorcycle is true, it's ahead of its time. So therefore, it would own the class. And we can't have that. This whole production rule and all the factories have spent big money on this stuff. We can't have that. No, we need the politics involved. We need to get Honda, Yamaha, maybe not Suzuki, because maybe Suzuki needs to come out with an e-bike and be above everybody, so that they can get their market share back. Digressing, the big guys aren't going to let the little guys succeed until they are ready to unveil something of their own that in their mind is better than the little guy. Like if we look at the race for e-cars, Tesla has owned the space since about 2005, is I believe when the first Tesla was around, and then Toyota I think was real close. They had a hydrogen motor where they thought, hey, this might be, and they put a lot of money into that. Well, what is one over? It has been the fully electronic car. And now everybody is in a production race to keep up with Tesla. And it's part of the reason why Elon Musk has skyrocketed his wealth, because he has hit the ground running and, has built the foundation or the roads for this e-car. So everyone else is now catching up, right? So Alta was trying to do it. A bunch of people took advantage to maybe jump on board, but the big manufacturers are behind. So that's why I think that this guy is going to be difficult. And we're going to have to get around AMA, and, Coombs and Feld are going to have to be like, hey, yeah, we're going to let e-bikes race, at least maybe even come up with an e-bike class. Give these guys their own class. This is innovation that's going to keep the sport alive, because we all know we need help with keeping this sport alive. And the way to do it is innovating. Innovating. Okay? What is that? 3 syllable? No, that's 4. Innovating. It's what we have to do. We don't need to be the Kodaks of sports. We're like, yeah, not much changed since the 70s, and it's doing really good. Like, nobody's going to want to have digital pictures. That's not where we're going. Screw the internet. The internet's not going to do shit. And the telephone, that's a piece of shit. I like my Morse code. Beep, beep, beep. Yeah, no. Innovation is where it's at. These guys are innovating. So that was a whole 5 minutes on just some straight up BS. Let me know what you think on the process of letting these guys succeed. Guys as in the whole genre of electric dirt bikes. So anyway, let's get into a little bit about this bike. They're saying that this bike has got a range of a full tank of gas. That was the biggest problem with the Alta, is there's no way it was going to do a 30-minute moto. No way it was going to do a 30-minute moto. That sucker was going to die on you. But this is saying it's got a 6-hour range for trail riding, and for sure a full tank of gas if you're going to do a hard pro moto. That to me is awesome. The second cool thing that is awesome is this sucker says it's got 80 horsepower. 80 effing horsepower. Could you imagine? They're making the 500 back. The old 500s. The vibrating pieces of shit that you couldn't hold on to. That I'm pretty sure that, it was mandatory to masturbate as far as a training program to hold on to those suckers. That is ridiculous, right? But you can change it down. They have like over 100 different ride modes between traction control, the flywheel, and you could do a 125 to make it pretty slow, up to 600 cc. That's awesome. So screw having the gears, you just pin it and boom, you got a rocket ship underneath you, full torque. If anybody's been in a Tesla, you know what I'm talking about as far as full torque. Pretty amazing. The motorcycle itself weighs 242 pounds. And a brand new CRF 450, its dry weight is 244 pounds. So a couple pounds heavier. And this sucker's got KYB suspension. And then also the price tag is reasonable at 12 grand. 12 grand. It's sort of what I paid for my Rockstar Edition in the garage. And if I want a 125, I'm going to have to spend 8 grand. So this almost seems like a good bang for your buck. No internal parts. You got a battery that can be charged within 1 to 2 hours, full tank of gas. You've got very limited as far as movable pieces. And you could always upgrade the suspension, upgrade the wheels. Oh, and it also has a heads-up display, which is your cell phone. That's in a shock-absorbing crossbar pad that you'll be able to see all the data, because what do we like? We like seeing data. We like telling our buddies, hey, guess what, dude? My bike's fucking geared to do 0 to 900, pinned in 11th gear. And then your buddy's over there, nah, you don't have gears, Johnny. What the hell are you talking about? And then you can show, no, look, I program my bike to be pinned in 11th gear. It's a real thing. Download the app and you got to buy the effing bike. And until you buy the bike, you can't argue with me. Probably not how it's going to go, but that's usually my conversations at the track. So, but here it's more cost effective because I don't have to spend 8 grand for a 125 and then, 10 grand for a 250 and then 12 grand for a 450. I just have to buy one of these suckers and I'm good to go. I don't know about everybody here, but I am for the revolution that is innovation. If my damn Bitcoin sticker behind me, it's not a sticker, it's actually, canvas. This thing was expensive to make. It's actually, we won't even talk about it. Innovation is where it's at. So screw it. If AMA won't hop on board and Feld won't hop on board, somebody, the Kicker Arena Cross Series, somebody is going to hop on this stuff because the e-bikes are the future. So truthfully, I think that this is the savings grace to our problem. We're going to have innovation, have more companies come, more people get involved. We just need to change the rules a little bit and not be scared of change. Because yes, change is always effing difficult and scary. But I will leave you with a quote by, truthfully, one of the greatest people in history. Marcus Aurelius. He said, accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs. It's right in front of us. So this e-bikes. It's what we have to do. So we have to just embrace it with open arms. We don't want to. That's what it's happening. That's what it's doing. If we don't, it's going to kill the sport. So boom, boom, boom. And the big corporations, freaking digressing, the big corporations, they're not going to let it happen because they don't care if the sport succeeds or dies, you know, whether it's supercross or motocross. They just want to make sure bikes sell. And if people would rather have an e-bike than a combustion bike, then that's what's going to happen. It's just how it is. Hop on board. Hop on board. So I hit myself. Hop on board. And I'm done. And then my whole trademark of is going to be like, okay, e-bike, here we go. I know some of you guys are going to like this. Because this thing's got 80 horsepower. I'm going to go all like this because I'm not going to wear goggles when I'm riding the e-bike. It's almost harder to do.